Welcome everyone. Welcome to lesson 10 of 40. It is 31 days to my 40th, and I have been sharing lessons from this past years, lessons from my personal experiences and experiences of other people. So if that sort of interests you, why don't you give the rest of it a listen when you've got the chance. Today we're looking at lesson 10, and if it's your very first time here on the channel, welcome. Let me encourage you to go ahead and give this a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. And for those who are returning, those who have been following the lessons, well done. Thank you so much for returning. I really do appreciate your engagement on the channel. All right, so for today, lesson 10 is perception is everything. Perception is everything. And perception indeed is everything. However, not in the shallow, fake it till you make it type of way, but in a purposeful, God-aligned way where you project where you're going because you are rooted in the knowledge of who God says you are. Let's be honest, we live in a world that's obsessed with appearance. The pressure to look the part without really being the part is intense. And then social media alone has people, curating highlight reels where while they might be, silently struggling behind the scenes. But hear this clearly. You don't need to fake it to make it. You just need to faith it and project it. And what does that mean, you may ask? What does that mean? It simply means to embody the future that you believe God is leading you towards. Even before you get there, it means aligning your thoughts, your words, your posture, your decisions, your actions with where you're headed and not where you currently are or where you may have been stuck. All right? Here's a scripture for you in Romans 4:17. It says, "The God who gives life to the dead, calling forth those things that be not as though they were." So you see, that's God's nature. And as his child, if you're a Christian, that nature lives in you too. So you're not faking anything. You're simply calling it forth. You're simply living prophetically. Now, this brings to mind a client of mine who had said to me in one of our conversations that, I just don't feel confident enough to show up like the expert that I want to be. And I remember, saying to her, asking her if she thought that anything she knew at all could help anyone. And I noticed she paused, as if to be remembering something. And then she started to talk about some of the people that she'd helped with what she knows, with the wealth of knowledge that she has. In that instance, she just needed to be reminded, or she needed to get the right perception of herself and where she wants to go. And I'm super excited to be working with her. She's so talented. So here's the truth. People treat you based on the perception you create. And so if you carry yourself with purpose, they'll respond to you that way. If you speak with clarity, they'll listen differently. If you value yourself, others will follow. Now, not everyone falls into this category, but the majority of people that you will encounter will follow suit on how you perceive and project yourself. I'll leave you with these few thoughts. Number one, let scripture shape your perception of yourself. Whatever you believe, how the world came to be, you were made, and you were made for a purpose. And for Christians, scripture makes us understand who we are. So go to scripture first to shape your perception of yourself. Number two, don't apologize for projecting the future the future you desire for yourself. Don't apologize for that. And finally, show up and keep showing up even when it's not easy to do so, even when it seems everyone doubts what you're projecting. I can assure you the billions of people in the world, there are people who would hear you, who would see you for who you are and your worth. So today, let me encourage you to shift the lens through which you see yourself. Let that guide how others see you as well. Your perception shapes your performance, and your performance will shape your possibilities. I hope that this has helped you. If it has, go ahead and give this a like if you haven't already. Let me encourage you to join the community by hitting the subscription button and tapping on that notification bell, so when I drop each lesson for each day, you are aware and you can give it a quick listen. All right. Until I come your way again tomorrow with lesson 11, stay blessed, enjoy yourself. See you soon. Bye for now.